Hello and welcome to another video about development. In this video we are going to take a closer look at the ways of measuring development of society. However, before we do this, let us quickly remind ourselves about the definition of development as well as its three aspects. Development can be defined as the betterment of the economical, societal, and environmental aspects of a country. As I said earlier, in this video we are going to focus on social or societal development. When we talk about society, we talk about the people who live around us in our community, our country, and around the world. Measuring social development basically means measuring the quality of life of the general society. Quality of life refers to the standard of living, health, and happiness of people. And to quantify quality of life, you can look at many different statistics. In this video, we are going to examine three main indicators that contribute to the quality of life that we are going to discuss: literacy rates, infant mortality rates, and life expectancy. Literacy rates, in our case, refers to the number of people in a country who are over the age of 15 that can read and write. A high literacy rate indicates the quality of a country's basic education system. And the better the quality of this education system, the more likely it is that people will get some sort of tertiary education and university qualifications. These countries will produce more educated and higher skilled workers who are more employable and can demand higher wages. And the people in these countries are also more likely to be independent, intelligent thinkers. This graph shows how the world's population has become more literate over the last 200 years. Between the year 1800 and 2015, the global literacy levels have improved from under 20% worldwide to over 80%. This map shows the distribution of literacy levels around the world in 2015. Notice how the different regions compare to each other, like South America and Africa. Infant mortality rates refer to the number of babies born that die before reaching the age of 1. These are live births. Infant mortality rate is a good indicator of how a country's healthcare system is catering for children. The lower the IMR or infant mortality rate score, the better. Lower IMR scores means that the birth rates will naturally decrease. Lower IMR scores also mean that children will have the chance to grow old and provide a workforce for the country, and parents won't have to worry about their children dying at a young age anymore. This graph shows how global child mortality rates have declined over the last 200 years. Today, less than 5% of the children born worldwide will die before the age of 5. As you can see from this world map, the regions with the worst infant mortality rates are Africa and Southern Asia. The best performing regions are North America and Europe. Life expectancy refers to the average age that people can expect to live to in a country and indicates the general quality of healthcare in that country. People in a country with a higher level of healthcare are generally happier and suffer less from easily preventable diseases. They obviously live longer and can work longer and enjoy retirement. Life expectancy can also be brought down by things like crime. Countries with high murder rates, for example, often have lower life expectancy scores. As we can see from this map, life expectancy across the planet has skyrocketed since 1950, when the life expectancy was a mere 45 years. In 2015, the life expectancy globally was an average of about 71 years. The region with the highest average life expectancy is Europe. Africa and Southern Asia are among the regions that have significantly improved their healthcare systems the most over this period of time. Some of the other ways we can measure quality of life is by measuring poverty rates and political freedoms. This graph shows the decline in the rates of people living in absolute poverty around the world. Absolute poverty is measured if people are living on less than $1.90 a day. That's American dollars. You can see that about 90% of the world's population lived in absolute poverty in the early 1800s, and by 2015, the rate of absolute poverty around the world was only about 10% of the world's population. That is a massive decrease. Another way to measure quality of life is the political freedoms of a society. Throughout most of the last 200 years, most of the people in the world have either lived in colonies or under influence of oppressive dictators and governments. Since the 1950s, however, more and more people have been granted political freedom to vote and live how they like, thereby improving their quality of life dramatically. Before we end the video, let's just quickly summarize what we have learned. Social aspects of development indicate quality of life of people living in a country. Secondly, we learned social development can be measured using healthcare statistics like life expectancy and infant mortality rates, and education statistics like literacy rates. And finally, we learned that some of the other ways of measuring quality of life include things like poverty rates and political freedoms. And that's it for this video. Thanks for watching. I hope you found the content educational and entertaining.